G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Aussie Starcraft. Now, it was just this morning I was actually watching EGDemuslim's stream and realised that, as an absolute travesty, we haven't got any of EGDemuslim here on our channel at Aussie Starcraft, and thought, geez, that has to be rectified immediately. So, tracked down some of EGDemuslim's replays, and we'll be bringing you a TvP here on Akilon Waste between EGDemuslim, our red Terran in the bottom right hand corner, and RootMinigun, our blue Protoss in the top left hand corner. So it will be a TvP here on Akilon Waste. Now, I enjoy watching EGDemuslim play. Plays an interesting sort of brand of Terran. Quite heavily favours sort of the biomine approach, particularly against Zerg players. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's not that unusual in the current meta game. But what I love about EGDemuslim is he practices the strategy over and over and just very consistent with it. One might say almost undeviating from it, so we'll see if he utilises that here today, or if he'll be showing us something different. Always fun to watch him when he streams quite heavily. Had a lot of fun watching him destroy someone's double proxy gateway cheese. That was a lot of fun this morning. The guy tried to cheese him by building two gateways in the corner of his base here on Akilon Waste, and tapped out of the game shortly after EGDemuslim put a stop to it. So always fun to see cheeses get the smackdown laid on them. Have Root here getting an early scout out. If you're wondering why he's timing this scout, gives him an idea of what EGDemuslim's employing. Of course, you'll see this expansion go down. You'll see that there's no gas in the main base, and that instantly lets him know quite a few things. He knows that EGDemuslim won't be opening with any Reapers. He knows he's a little bit safer. He doesn't have to go for quite as quick a Zealot and Stalker as he might have otherwise had to. Those early Reapers can do quite a bit of damage if you don't have something out to deter them. But having seen the base, you'll know he's quite safe from those. Two barracks on the way now for EGDemuslim. Bring up the production tab so we don't miss anything. We have a Zealot now on the way as the Twilight Council is finishing up. Still no gas out of EGDemuslim, so I was going to be powering on these two command centres. Likely see them upgrade to orbitals now as they finish and that first barracks completes. Have a mothership core on the way for Minigun, and is taking his second gas in his main. Likewise, Minigun choosing to expand as well. Knowing how quick EGDemuslim expanded, he knows he's relatively safe to be able to do this, particularly with the mothership core out. Before any aggression can make it over to his side of the map, mothership core will be out, and as you can see, it's got 60 energy now, and it only takes 100 for the photon overcharge, so we well and truly have enough in place to be able to fend off any early aggression. And the Zealot, Stalker and Mothership Core should keep him safe for the next couple of minutes. Warp Gate research almost halfway done now. And looks like both these players are just going to be macroing it up. So while we're waiting for this game to get underway, just a quick question for you guys that are watching. In the TvP matchup, what's your favourite stage of the game? I know a lot of Terran players tend to favour that mid game, 12-13 minutes out when they've got 2-2 upgrades, stim pack, medevacs, and they tend to be able to tear through the Protoss army with, well, I won't say considerable ease, but it certainly does favour them at that point of the game. Are you a fan of Terran, or are you a fan of Protoss? What do you enjoy about the matchup and why? Let us know down below. Being a Protoss player, I quite enjoy the late game in a TvP, providing I make it safely to the late game, and generally enjoy the stage of the game we have Storm and Colossus, and you've transitioned past that quite dangerous and difficult mid game. We'll have a Stargate on the way for RootMinigun with an Oracle warping in now. Oracle's very effective against Terran, particularly Terran early game when there's not that many Marines out. Unfortunately for Minigun, EGDemuslim has quite a few Marines on the field now. He's got all for 8 Marines on the field already. No fixed defences, but an engineering bay already on the way. This Oracle may well get a couple of kills here at the natural, maybe even snipe a mule if he's lucky. Minigun continuing to chrono boost his workers. If we look at income tab, we can see it favouring EGDemuslim, that quicker expansion. The mules lifting his income up to 1220, 1240. We look at currently not a whole lot in the units lost tab. We'll keep our eyes on the production. We have the Marines moving down to shoo off this Oracle. Was able to get 3 kills, which is not a bad effort. But engineering turret coming down now is going to put quite an end to this Oracle's harass. Maybe able to poke around the edges, get a few kills here and there, but for the large part, it won't be ravaging any mineral lines anytime soon. He's going to have a little poke here at the main, might be able to get a few off the gas, and we see missile turrets highly effective against air units. You see the sheer rate of fire able to tear through the Oracle's shield, and minigun forced to pull back before he loses the Oracle. Still very useful for scouting and getting an idea of what's going on. So he'll continue zipping back and forward and just trying to make life difficult for EGDemuslim. EGDemuslim's stimming. Oh, the Oracle may go down here. Oh, nice angle there. Able to force the stim out of all of those Marines. Medevac's now on the way, so not a big deal there. But EGDemuslim choosing to move out now. Observer spotting this moving out. We should be seeing some more units move out. We do have a Colossus on the way. Second one almost complete. Extended thermal lancers still about 100 seconds away, so this attack will hit before thermal lancers completed. +1 weapon, nice timing. +1 weapons will be just finished up. Oh, big stim, maybe a little bit early there out of EGDemuslim, but stimming and being forced to move back. Probably not quite the engagement ones. I don't know that minigun wants to blow up those rocks at this precise second. Will EGDemuslim engage here, or will he choose to pick up into the main? We do have 2 Phoenix, potentially a 3rd Phoenix almost on the way. It does make it a little bit more difficult for EGDemuslim. Nice force fields there, cutting the army in part and allowing those Colossus to get some great shots along the edge. If you're wondering why these Phoenix, seen a lot of this Phoenix Colossi play, particularly out of Gym recently, has made this Phoenix Colossi play quite popular. The reason for the Phoenix, I know they can't do a stack against Terran with the Graviton beam, you don't really want to be picking up Marines one at a time to shoot them, but the Phoenix actually act really well to counter any drop play the Terran may try to utilise, so very good for shutting down drops. Stops them doing irritating things like posturing here at the 3rd base and then zipping into the main for a doom drop. And very useful. And later on in the game, when there's less dropping going on, the Phoenix are quite useful for absorbing volleys of shots that would otherwise be ripping apart the Colossus, because any Vikings that the Terrans produce will generally aggro the Phoenix before they'll aggro the Colossus. So we have a 4th Colossus on the way, going up to 6 Phoenix, so Minigun's very much committing to this Phoenix Colossi play. See quite a few sentries on the ground to try and prevent the enemy army from closing with the Colossus and getting any of those big surrounds that they like to see. Oh, we have the Oracle here trying to rack up a few kills, gets a 4th kill, but then taken down by the missile turret and the Vikings. So that'll put an end to his little harassment. These Phoenix could well abuse the edge of the map here. Oh, almost got that medevac. Well, Phoenix goes down, and we have EGDemuslim forced to pull back yet again. So you have EGDemuslim parking his factory here. I like these clever little things that EGDemuslim does. Parking it here so that he knows when that 4th base goes down. Sometimes you'll see Terran players that commit to bio doing this, and often they'll land it, even produce a Widow Mine out of it, because in the heat of the game you may not notice the Widow Mine shoot the worker as it goes to drop that 4th base, and so if you're caught up in other places you may not notice that the expansion you were hoping's completed is still not even started. So lots of little tricks that can give you a little bit of an edge. One of the reasons I like to watch EGDemuslim, very innovative with how he chooses to handle different situations. You have a lot of bio players that will use this factory for scouting and other various shenanigans, but it's always fun to see the slight variations between player. Minigun really committing to this Phoenix Colossi. We do have +1 air weapons on the way and +1 ground weapons and armour almost completed, whereas for EGDemuslim we have +2 weapons and armour, +2 weapons almost done now, +2 armour on the way, along with Terran ship weapons finishing up as well. Ghost Academy as well coming down now from EGDemuslim. And that'll be for those EMPs that just do so much damage to Protoss. These Phoenix... Oh, 1 Phoenix going down, 2 Phoenix going down to their volleys. Massive Colossi focus fire is just going to rip apart the Marines and Marauders in this choke point. You do not want to engage there as Terran. I have EGDemuslim jockeying for a better angle, but the Vikings are tearing through these Phoenix, so in a volley or two these Vikings will be able to start on the Colossus, and then you'll have a very fragile army of minigun left to try and deal with this stemmed up bioball. So we have minigun warping in a few stalkers to try and deal with these Vikings. EGDemuslim kiting back and forward nicely here, each volley doing massive damage to these Colossi. If we go to the units lost tab for a moment, we can see that minigun has lost substantially more than EGDemuslim. The clever kiting back and forward being one of the contributing factors, taking out that factory so that he can expand and take a 4th base. EGDemuslim also taking his 4th, continuing to posture very aggressively. Every time, oh, nice scan to pick up the observer. If we go back to the production tab, we can see +2 weapons and +2 armour on the way now. 3-3 well on the way for EGDemuslim, so there'll be a substantial period of time where there'll be an upgrade disparity. These Vikings able to kite back and forward, but every volley of these Colossus doing massive damage to the bio force to engage the Zealots. The Vikings aren't able to take down these Colossus quick enough. We have 5 Colossus tearing apart this bio. Oh, nice time warp thrown down by minigun. EGDemuslim forced to load up and get out of here. Most of the Phoenix have gone down, which is allowing EGDemuslim to boost into this base. There is a photon cannon here, but it will go down. These stemmed up Marauders, can they snipe the base? We have workers going down left, right and centre. A warped in Zealot is going to slow this down. We have part of the drop going on in the main. Phoenix unable to clear this up, being only 2 Phoenix left. We have EGDemuslim trying to clear up the Stargate. That is going to prevent any further Phoenix from being produced. Time warp being thrown down. Can these Stalkers clean up the medevacs? No, they will escape clean. Phoenix are still trying to clean up these drops, but unfortunately for minigun, most of the Phoenix numbers were cleaned out. Another force being dropped back and forth, and this is the danger of medevacs on this map. They're able to repeatedly do these annoying back and forth plays between the main and the 3rd base. And occasionally you'll see a well-timed push on the 4th base as well. So excellent multitasking from EGDemuslim, but unfortunately for a minigun bearing down steadily across the map here. Big stim to clean up some of these Zealots. Still too many Colossus for him to try and engage directly. Really needs a couple more Vikings on the field. They are being produced 2 at a time, but these Phoenix are still being a bit of a pest, able to beat down some of those medevacs, which EGDemuslim sorely needs. You can't produce both medevacs and Vikings at a time, but this number of Vikings is quite a healthy number. You have 11 or 12. I believe it's enough to one-shot the Colossus. We will see. It does depend on the upgrades. 2 armour. We'll see if they are able to one-shot the Colossus. Vikings able to kite back and forward. Oh, nice storm there, doing some good damage on the Vikings. Yep, we have 1 Colossus down, 2 Colossus down. Oh, the bio is dying quite quickly. EGDemuslim's dropped to 150, supply to 170. The Colossus are going down now. Oh, 1 Colossus remains, a few sentries, but Zealots continuing to warp in. Can EGDemuslim muster enough reinforcements? Down to 129 supply, forced to pull back into his main, kiting back and forward as best he can with these last few Marines and Marauders. Big warp-ins from miniguns going to put a lot of pressure on the back. 3 Archons warping in, 2 more Templars saving for Storm. can DeMuslim muster the force he needs? Still mining off quite healthy off 2 and a portion bases, but needs more bio on the field and needs it now. Producing 6 Marauders and 4 Marines at a time, along with a Ghost, so a well-timed EMP might help bring down these Archons. Vikings being sacrificed, potentially unnecessarily. 2 more Robos being thrown down. Now that's quite a substantial investment in robotics base. Will he even get a chance to use them? Oh, Storm there doing a little bit of friendly fire as well. Nice splits out of DeMuslim. Fortunately, catching a bit of that Storm there. His Marauders stimming back and forward, trying to spread out. Another Colossus makes it to the front line. DeMuslim probably regretting throwing away those Vikings earlier on. These Marauders continuing to stim, going to pick off this High Templar. They're barreling down on this Protoss force. Got to be careful to not catch the Colossus. More Archons being warped in, more Templar coming in for Storm. It's hard to tell quite who's ahead at this point. Supply still very evenly matched. Oh, a lot of Ghosts on the field now. Oh, EMP picks off that Archon very quickly. And we see quite a change in composition from DeMuslim, starting to get more and more Ghosts on the field. These will play quite well in these engagements, able to drop the Protoss shields instantaneously. Sorry, I've been talking so quick and for so long. I need a little bit of a drink. And we're back. Minigun continuing to posture here at the 3rd and 4th base. He'd love to pick off some of these workers, try and deny some of the income of DeMuslim, but DeMuslim continuing to EMP this army is making it very difficult for Minigun to engage. These Vikings can kite back and forward, and it's so frustrating as a Protoss player having to deal with the Vikings. They kite back and forward at the edge of their range. If you try and blink the Stalkers in to deal with them, the Stim Marauders rip apart your Stalkers. Otherwise, the Vikings just kite back and forth. Oh, nice Storms, great Storms out of Minigun. DeMuslim forced to pull back yet again. But these Vikings are now positioned well. Colossus are going to go down, 1 down, 2 down. Can they get the 3rd? These Marauders are slimmed up. Oh, most of the bio has gone down. Does Minigun have enough to break through here? Ghost being forced to fall back. No cloak as of yet, so they're very exposed against these Zealots. More Vikings, unfortunately, not doing anything here. Forced to land the Vikings. They are going to provide some of the DPS he needs against Minigun's force, but warp in after warp in. DeMuslim struggling to produce the units he needs to deal with these. Unfortunately, if the Ghost could cloak that, would be quite useful, with that upgrade not researched yet, and DeMuslim forced to tap out. What a close game out of these two. One of the longer games we've seen on Whirlwind recently. Most of the games we've seen have been quite quick games, over very quick. It is after all a very close map. Rush distances between the base quite close, but you get an idea of DeMuslim's mentality. Insists production here of 7 barracks, and you can see what I mean, or 9 barracks, sorry. You can see what I mean about DeMuslim. He is very committed to the bio strat. He's not fond of meching Terran at all. Not that mech excels against Protoss, but I gotta tell you, in all the games I've seen of DeMuslim, I've never watched him go mech in a game. Tends to favour the bio, and he's quite good at it. You saw his splits were impeccable for most of the game, able to keep his units out of the line of fire, but this Phoenix Colossi play out of Minigun, excellent exhibition of how that should be done, able to pick his engagements very well. Look at the units lost tab, steadily, consistently favouring Minigun in those engagements. So excellent game out of both these players. Hope you enjoyed it. Great example of excellent TvP play. We're looking forward to casting a bit more of DeMuslim. I plan to have a chat to him, see if he'll give us a few replays to show off here on the channel. And go ahead and give these guys a shout out on Facebook or Twitter, and let them know you appreciate the games we're able to cast for them. And yeah, go ahead and share the game on social media. Share the love with some of your friends, maybe a few people who don't know what Starcraft is. Bring some more new blood into the community. Everyone loves Starcraft. The world's just divided into 2 groups of people: those that love Starcraft and those that don't know it yet. So go ahead and share it with some of your friends, and we'll see them soon here on Aussie Starcraft. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.